This podcast deals with disturbing subject matter. Listener discretion and headphones are advised.
It's time to open the door to your mind. Sit back and listen to true horror. But be careful of what you allow in. Because it's time to go through the fog.
I'm DarkHero, and this is my story. They weren't children.
It was nearing 11 p.m., and the sounds of trick-or-treaters had finally faded away. My energy, much like the candy I had, was spent. I let out a yawn as I turned off the television, ready for my head to crash into the pillow and fall asleep. That was when I heard a knock from my front door. It's so late now, surely there couldn't be any more kids out. As I walked down the hallway towards the front door, my feet stopped halfway, and suddenly, I froze. I don't know what came over me, but I couldn't move an inch closer to the door. I was overcome with some kind of primal fear as the knocking persisted. Each pound on the door made me wince. My heart nearly skipped a beat in turn. What in the actual hell had come over me? Each knock from the door made me recoil in pain. I heard a young boy's voice call out from outside.
Hello, sir? My sister and I are lost. May we please come in?
But the way this kid said that just didn't sound right. It sounded so distorted, as if it was a bad recording of a child's voice. That's when another voice came, this time a young girl's.
Please, sir. We just need to use your phone.
Their words sounded so warped in my ear, the inhuman tones filling me with dread. I thought for a moment that I must have freaked myself out over some of the horror movies I saw. I wiped some of the cold sweat from my brow. It was only children that needed help, that's all. I forced myself forward. My feet resisted at first, but I was finally able to make it to the door. Hold just a minute. My heart drummed within my chest, causing my ribs to ache. That's when I noticed how pitch black the windows were. I was sure that I'd left the front porch lights on. I slowly inched my face to look through the peephole. All I could see was darkness. I couldn't even see the streetlights, let alone my neighbor's house across the road. Just black. The boy called out again.
Hello? Sir? My sister and I are lost. May we please come in?
It sounded just like how he asked earlier. I slowly unlocked the door and opened it. Standing before me were two kids. A boy and a girl. Both maybe younger than 12. They both wore jeans and red hoodies, and when they lifted their heads for a moment, they looked normal, until I looked into their eyes. My heart sank as I saw black voids fill their sockets. Pure Vanta black. I slammed the door and locked it. And I propped my back against the door, and I could feel them beat on the barricade between us. All I could hear was,
John! John! Let us in!
They both yelled with those fake children's voices. I shouted, "Leave! Leave now!" I started to weep. My whole body was being overcome with pure fear as the children continued to scream.
Let us in, John! Let us inside!
I felt as though my heart was going to give out at any moment. My strength started to wane, and I felt in my soul that these things could burst into my home at any moment. The door shook as they beat upon it, and the lights in my home flickered. Every inch of my body ached as I pushed my weight into the door, praying to whatever higher being that this thin door wouldn't break. Their yells turned into high-pitched ringing. I thought I was going to go deaf, then absolute silence. I sat there until the fear finally dissipated. I looked through the peephole and, sure enough, The lights were on, and those children, those things, were gone. I collapsed on the floor as relief washed over me. I was utterly exhausted, and before I knew it, I passed out. I awoke the next morning, pushing away the thoughts of what happened to the darkest parts of my brain. Honestly, I'd rather be crazy than believe that something like that had actually happened to me. I wanted it to be fake so badly. Until a few nights later, I heard a loud knock coming from my front door, followed by a fake-sounding boy's voice saying,
Hello, sir. My sister and I are lost. May we come in? Let us in, John. Open this door. Let us in. Are you listening? Open the door.
Through the Fog is recorded and edited by Intro and outro by Katie Kemp. For more stories, go to www.throughthefog.org. We'll be back in 2 weeks, so keep your eyes on the fog.